Hey, good morning. I just finished reading The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. It was a great book. It took me a while to finish reading this book. If you are an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur, I highly recommend you read this book, especially the Fastlane chapters. And I already have my next book that I'm really excited to read. That's Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. A very fascinating guy. Like the last year, I've been learning more and more about Stoicism and the ancient Roman philosophy. Marcus Aurelius was one of the greatest Roman emperor, and not only that, he was also a philosopher, very intellectual individual. And I think this book is it's like a journal of his. It's fascinating. I'm really excited to read this book. I just wanted to talk about how excited I get when I'm about to read a new book. This morning when I saw this book, I was really excited to start reading this book. And then I thought about when I was in school. Honestly, I hated reading books. I still remember when we get reading assignments and we had to choose from few books. I used to just look up the summary of the book and then, fill in the questions. It's crazy. And now I love reading books. I started reading books when I dropped out of college. My first book was The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. It's crazy. I always think of myself as a student. Even if I don't go to school anymore, I consider myself a lifelong learner. I'm always learning, I'm always expanding my knowledge, whether it's through reading books, listening to podcasts, watching videos, movies, songs. I always try to expand my knowledge, learn new things. The more I learn, the more I realize I know very little. It's crazy to think how much value you can get from a book, and books are really cheap. I think reading books is one of the best habits you can get. Even if you don't go to school anymore, I highly recommend you to keep on learning. If you don't like reading books, learn from podcasts, learn from videos, movies, whatever it is. Keep on learning. Be a lifelong learner. Think about it. For example, this book about Marcus Aurelius. He was from thousands of years ago. He is one of the greatest Roman emperor. Where do we get the chance to learn from one of the greatest leaders in the history? It's very fascinating. We get to learn about how they lived, the way they think, their philosophy, all the knowledge that we can get, and the wisdom from a small book like this. It's crazy to me. It's definitely worth it to start reading books. I've been saying this for years now and I have made videos about it. I highly recommend you to start reading books. You can start from a small book, a thin book, easy to read, and then you can build up and start reading thicker books like this. It's crazy. This is the thickest book I've ever read. I guarantee you, you won't regret it. You can learn a lot from one book. I'm sure my younger self in school would never thought I would love reading books. Now I do. Start reading books. That's what I want to share. Hope you will have a great day and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.